Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I almost forgot to record this. It's 11:07. This is kind of risky. It's a risky time to completely left my mind completely went blank. And completely forgot about this thing. But I'm recording now, so I made it. I'm still making one of these a day. Anyways, me and my family just watched an episode of BBC's Planet Earth 2, a sequel to the Planet Earth 1 series from way back in the day, back in the 80s or 70s or whenever it came out. Except this time they have like HD cameras when they're filming nature. You know, it's a nature documentary. But this time they have HD cameras. They have its own soundtrack. They've got like the picture quality on this show is absolutely ridiculous. You can see every single detail, and they can get so close, so much closer to bugs now. You can see everything, and it's amazing. And the colors are amazing because cameras are able to capture colors better now, and they can get like shots that were impossible to get back in the day. You know, they have drones now, so they can go way deep into a forest, and they can get these smooth, sweeping shots of everything. It's really amazing. I actually was so amazed by how high the quality of the video was, because I actually found out about BBC Earth on YouTube. And this was before it got on Netflix, and I was so amazed by the quality that I actually went to iTunes and bought an episode just so I could watch it, because it was just so... I had never seen something so high quality, and it was worth it. Even though now it's on Netflix. Now it is on Netflix, and it's free to watch for anyone who has Netflix. Nothing on Netflix is free to watch. You do have to pay for a subscription, but I don't. My family has a subscription to Netflix, so it's free to watch. It's just, the shots are beautiful, and I don't know. They have a very unique way of framing all of the animals' plights, all of the instinctual, animalistic plights of the animals in a human and dramatic way. Like they get a shot of a bird looking up into the sky longingly for its mate or for a lover or whatever. They have like a shot of a father monkey saving a baby girl monkey from falling to its death, and then them hugging at the end. It's just it's so good. It's so well made. And the soundtrack is by Hans Zimmer, who is, he usually does movie soundtracks. He did the soundtrack to Lion King and Pirates of the Caribbean and, I don't know, Inception. And, beautiful, beautiful work on that thing. I love that documentary. Don't know what else to say. Now that that's over. That was only 3 minutes of time. Oh, the heater's getting too hot. Once again, I forgot to turn on the heater, so once I entered my room, like the rest of the house is kind of heated up by the fireplace, the gas stove fireplace or whatever. But for some reason, it doesn't go all the way back to my room. It's like the furthest room away from where the heat comes from, I guess. And when the door's closed, it's not going to really let heat in. So I entered the room, and it was like walking into it was like walking outside, I guess you could say. Not really walking into a freezer. Not that cold. Walking outside. And so I had to turn on the heater, and then I turned on the heater, and then the heater only has the maximum heat, like I said before, so it just like it started burning me. So now I've turned it away from me again. I just talked about this in the previous recording, the previous session of recording. I'm going to call these sessions of recording now because I've decided to, stitch these together into a podcast, so I might as well try and make it a little bit more consumable and not make it seem like I'm ending an episode of the podcast right. I'm ending an episode of the podcast right in the middle of the podcast because I've been treating these like episodes. Oh yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you guys next time. I don't even know if I'm going to end with that. I don't even know how I'm going to do that. I mean, like, I don't even know if this is a good format. Maybe I'll find out. I'll find out if this gets any response. I highly doubt that it will. Because YouTube is weird. You have to have something that's connected to something. You can't just make a podcast about nothing and expect it to get... Well, this isn't a podcast about nothing, but it's about a bunch of different topics. It might be better just to split these into 10-minute videos that people can watch. But I really like the idea of a podcast. I like the idea of releasing it all in one go, just an hour to an hour and a half, and you get to listen to it every week. It's cool, it's a cool idea. Lots of podcasts are like that, and I like that feeling, the feeling that it gives me. And it's not to say that I don't like 10-minute chunks of video. I'm a fan of the Game Grumps, obviously, and they do 10-minute videos every day. Sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. They usually do 2 of them each, or sometimes 3, depending on who's there. But no, I want this to be a good, nice podcast. You can listen to the entirety of it, and it can, as you're relaxing and going to bed, or as this is not necessarily the kind of content that you have to pay attention to. This is the kind of content that you just listen to while you're sitting down and doing something else, while you're doing your laundry or while you're doing your whatever. It's basically the sit down and chill and relax podcast. That's what it's turning out to be, and that's what I hope that it turns out to be. That's what my intention is, at least for now. It might change, as I think everybody should and always will change. Like a podcast will always change, whether it be for good or whether it be for bad, Shouldn't stay the same. Should always be looking forward, trying to make the new, better thing. I mean, you don't want to just, like Planet Earth, if they had released the same thing they released back in the day when they first made it, the first Planet Earth, it wouldn't have been as cool. It wouldn't have, they had to get all the new technologies and all of the new research, all of the new voice acting, the new everything, and just make it high budget as possible, beautiful, gorgeous piece of work. And maybe that's what this podcast will one day become. Maybe 30 years from now, when there's new technology that allows you to project someone's voice into your room and then give it a shape, like the shape of a flower. I don't know. Project someone, I'll make something super amazing, Make something super amazing. Maybe I'll be able to project it so as if I'm sitting in the room with you or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'll use the new technologies. I'll try to stay on top of technology and do something amazing. Try to improve, constantly up your game. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. What else can I talk about? I really don't know. I have no clue. I'm doing one of these a day and I have no clue what to talk about. And I'm still afraid that I'll have nothing to talk about. Still afraid. But I've always found that there's always something to talk about. It's just that I can't always think about it, or I can't always know about it. Let me see. Is there anything I can report on that I've been working on? Not really. I mean, I'm still listening to the Western classical music, but not too many breakthroughs with that. I mean, I finally run into a song that's actually catchy. Because up until now, even the songs that were written by troubadours that actually have lyrics and, they have a melodic line that's constantly repeated, they're kind of still kind of off-putting and so difficult to get a feel for. But I finally run into a song that's actually catchy. I'm not going to look up the name of it, but it's in the playlist that I'm making. I'm actually making I'm trying to make a playlist that is the history of Western classical music. Just not the, there's no announcing of anything, or maybe they will be, I'm not sure, but I'm going to make the playlist called The History of Western Classical Music. It's just going to take you on a musical journey, just using music alone to guide you and guide your ear to understanding what Western music was and how it evolved. Right now I'm just gathering all the videos that I can, but I think I'm going to cut a lot of them out and try and make it so each video you listen to, or each piece of music you listen to has a distinct difference, and you slowly see the evolution of music as it evolved from the medieval period into the Renaissance period, from the Renaissance period to the Baroque, from the Baroque into the classical, from the classical to the Romantic, and then from Romantic till, now. I don't know what you would call now. But I want to slowly track that evolution just through songs, just a perfect. I want to make a great playlist that shows that evolution. I think that would be really cool, and I would want to listen to that. But I also kind of want to make it myself, because that's cool. It's a cool to have project. I like that. So there's that, and I hope that I can discover something interesting about me. I hope that it actually does give me something new about music. I hope that I learn how to. I learned something from this. It's because when I I want to be able to compose good music, and I want to have a good idea of what makes music work. And I think listening to as much music from as many different sources as possible is a good idea to do that. And that's what I'm doing. I just repeated myself. About, listening to, trying to expand my repertoire of music. I've already talked about that. I shouldn't talk about the same thing over and over again, should I? But I'm just trying to report back to you guys. Let you know where I am, and hopefully I'll continue this. I'm also still working on the do, re, mi thing. Do, re, mi, it's very hard to learn. The way that I learned music, there was like this one YouTube video that I watched a long time ago, because I never could get the thing where the timing of playing a piano, because like your right hand wants to do the same thing that your left hand is doing, and if they try to do something different, then they'll hit the same key anyways. And I could never get it right. I could never get it so they did different things. But that was until I saw this one YouTube video, and I don't think it's even like findable at this point, because it was not that good of a YouTube video, like not well shot or not professional at all. But this guy demonstrated exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to slow down the beat so much that you can see when you're supposed to do the different things. Slow down as much as you need. And that's kind of like, you just bring it down, and you don't have to necessarily be on key. You don't necessarily have to be, metronoming the thing. People like to train with the metronome, but I don't think, as long as you have in your head the idea of where the beats lie, and the math of where each single quarter note or half note or offbeat lies, then you can speed that up later, and you can make it match the beat later perfectly. But when you start out, it's better to just focus on counting the beats, and not necessarily on counting them in perfect time, because the perfect time thing always gets to me. It always makes me not capable of doing it. So I've been trying to do that with the do, re, mi exercises, and I think it's helping me. It's helping me to get through them, because I don't think that I would be able to get through them if I didn't do this. I think that it's important that if you're a slow learner, or it's important that it's not bad to learn something slowly. I think you learn it more fully if you learn it. It's important to understand it. Whether or not you're fast is really not the issue, because you can get fast later. You can get fast once you practice enough, right? And maybe, speed is something that disappears with youth, I think, to some degree, but you can get fast enough. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, it has been 12 minutes and 53 seconds, so this is a good time to end this session. Oh my God, I did it again. I said this is the end of the session. I shouldn't do that, should I? Maybe I should. I don't know. Leave a comment, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I should end these sessions this way, or if I should end them, just abruptly end them and abruptly jump into the next session, because the next session is going to be tomorrow's session of recording. Just let me know. All right, this is the end of this session.